Hello and welcome to the Accent English Club. Today's topic is introduce yourself. Okay, so let's start. Introduce yourself. The first thing is greetings. As I told you, greetings are of two types. Number one, formal greeting, and number two, informal greeting. For example, look here. Formal greetings. What are these? Number one, hello. Number two, good morning. Number three, good afternoon. Number four, good evening. And number five, good night. So whenever we meet somebody, first we say hello or good morning if we are meeting in the morning time or forenoon time. If we are meeting in the afternoon, so we will say good afternoon. And after 4 o'clock or 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock in the evening, we start saying good evening. And we will say good evening up to whenever we meet. For example, if we are meeting at 8 o'clock in the evening, or 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock in the evening, we will say good evening. Because there is a confusion between good evening and good night. Good night is the last greeting when you go back, when you are meeting last time. Then you will say, okay, good night, see you tomorrow or day after tomorrow, whatever. So don't be confused with good evening and good night. Understand? Now move to the informal greetings. This, look here, informal greetings. In this case, you will see that number one is hi, hey, what's up, howdy. Howdy is the short form of how do you do. Okay, generally people use this short form and it is very common in America especially. And then how is life? And finally, what's going on? So these are some examples of greeting, formal greeting, informal greeting. It's just like official and unofficial, personal you can say, right? So these are greetings. Now, after greeting somebody, the first thing is you ask the name of the person, or the person who is with you, he will ask your name, okay? The second thing is, our first question, what is that? What's your name? And now I will give you many examples of the answer of this question, right? For example, look here. The first one is very simple, just like a complete sentence. You will say, my name is, say for example, Michael. My name is Michael, okay? Or you can make it short. You can say, I am John. The third thing is, you can tell your full name or your first name or your last name. So you can say my last name is Sarah or my first name is Sarah, like this. My first name is Sarah. The fourth point is you will not tell your name. What will you do? You will just say you can call me Richard. So these are four different ways to answer the question what's your name. There is another way of asking name, that is called indirect way of asking name. In this case, what we do, we tell our names, okay? Look here, I have an example here, a very small conversation between David and Sarah. Okay, so how they will do it? Look here. David will say, hi there, Sarah. Hey, David, I am David D'Souza. And you are, what he says? He is telling his own name first and he is just giving the chance to the person whom he is talking to answer. And he is just leaving an incomplete sentence. And you are, so what is the answer of Sarah? Oh, I am Sarah Rahman. So this is indirect way of asking name. So this is the way of telling the answers of the question, what's your name? After the name, the second thing will come when somebody says, my name is Richard, my name is Sarah. So you will reply. What will you reply? You will tell him that you are glad or you are happy, whatever you're feeling, you will have to tell. So how you will express your love or attention? Look here. If somebody tells you his or her name, how would you reply? Okay, look here. Number one, nice to meet you. What will you say? Nice to meet you. Then, pleased to meet you. Okay? Next, happy to meet you. Next, good to see you. It's a pleasure to meet you. It's a pleasure to meet you. Look here. The word pleasure is very important in this sentence. Don't say pleasure. Never say pleasure. People say pleasure, pleasure. This is not pleasure. Actually, the correct pronunciation of this word is pleasure. So, what will you say? It's a pleasure to meet you. The next one is glad to see you. And the last one is I am pleased to meet you. So, these are some sentences you can just say in replying if somebody tells his or her name. Okay, now move to the next question. Where are you from? What is the next question? Where are you from? And we can ask this question in different ways. For example, look here. There are three different ways. Number one, where are you from? As I have written in red color. The second one is, where do you come from? And the third one is, where were you born? Now there are four different examples of answering these questions. For example, number one, I am from Delhi. I am from Delhi. Number two, I hail from Bombay. I hail from Bombay. Number three, now you will tell your country here in this number three. For example, you are in Singapore and you are speaking from Singapore and you are telling I am originally from India. Okay, and the last one is you will tell the nationality. I'm Indian. How you will say? I'm Indian. So these are the four different ways to answer where are you from. I am from Delhi. I hail from Bombay. I am originally from India, or you can say I'm basically from India, and I'm Indian. Now move to the next question. How old are you? It's a very interesting question. If you will ask to any female, she may be angry. So this question is for males only. So be careful. How old are you? Now look here. Again, I have 4 or 5 examples to reply this question. For example, number one, I am 20 years old. I am 20 years old. Okay? Then you can make it short. You can say, I am 22. Right? I am 22. Then if you don't know the exact age, today you know your birthday, but you don't know the exact age. So what will you do? You can use over, almost, or nearly. So how you will say? You can say like this. Look here. I am over 27, or I am almost 27, and you can say I am nearly 27. So this is approximately 27, means not exactly 27, maybe 26, maybe 28, like this. Then another thing is that if you don't know even 27 or 26 or the rough idea, so you can say that my age is just like your age. For example, you will say that I am around your age. Okay, I am around your age. Right? Now move to the last one. In the last one, I have given a very interesting sentence that I am in my early 30s. 30s means from 30 to 39. This is 30s. Right? If I say 40s, from 40 to 49. This is 40s. Just like this. But here early and late. There are two things. Early 40s, early 30s, late 30s. Here the sentence is I am in my early 30s. Means 30, 31, 32, 33, 34 or up to 35. That is early 30s. If you say late 30s, it will start from 36, 37, 38, 39 up to 40. That is late 30s. Okay, this is the way to answer the question of how old are you. Move to the next question. Who do you live with? Who do you live with? Now, you can ask this question in different ways. For example, look here. Who do you live with? Second thing, how many people are there in your family? And do you have any sibling? There are some examples of answers for this question. Look here. Number one, I live with my, you can mention anything here. Your brother, your sister, your father, your mother, or your family, whatever it is. I have given three things together. For example, I live with my father, I live with my mother, or I live with my family. You can say anything, okay? Now move to sentence 2. Now here you will tell the number of members in your family. For example, there are 5 members in my family. There are 5 members in my family, right? In the next sentence, you can say like this, my family has 6 people, for example. The next, for example, do you have any sibling? So you can say this, I have 2 brothers and 3 sisters, for example. I have 2 brothers and 3 sisters. If you don't have any sisters and brothers, then what will you do? You will say like this. In the last sentence, you can say, I am the only child of my parents, of my father, whatever you can add, additional things, but it is enough. I am the only child. Means you are alone. You are the only child. There is no other child of your parent. Nobody is there. You are alone. Understand? So this is, who do you live with? The next one is, what do you do for living? This is very common question. Mostly when you introduce somebody, this question always asked. Okay? Look here. There are 3 different ways to ask this question. For example, what do you do? Number 2, what do you do for living? And the third one is, what's your job? Again, I have given 5 or 6 examples to answer these questions. For example, number 1, you will see that A/N I have written here. This means you can use A or N. If the word starts with vowel, you will say N. If the word starts with consonant, you will say A. Look at the example here. I am a doctor or I am an engineer. Okay? I am a doctor or I am an engineer. Number 2, I work as an electrician or I work as a supervisor. Electrician, supervisor. Number 3, you can tell, for example, I am a teacher, I am a professor, I am a doctor. Any profession you can tell. Or if you are jobless now, you don't have any job, then what will you do? You will say, I am unemployed. I am unemployed. Okay? I am a marketing manager. If you are jobless, so you are looking for a job, so what will you say? You will say that I am looking for a job. I don't have any job right now, so I am just looking for a job. The last one is, I am retired. So these are the ways to answer these questions. What do you do for living, or what do you do? Or what's your job? Okay? Now, these are the very common questions which I told you for introduce yourself. Okay? Now, there's so many other questions also. For example, what is your hobby? What's your main subject? Who is your favorite hero? What is your favorite dish? There's so many questions. So I'll give you a set of 10 questions which are also related to this topic, that is introduce yourself. Look here. Number 1, where do you study? And in which university, in which place you study? You study in Delhi, you study in Britain, wherever. Number 2, what do you study? Means what is your subject? Okay? You are an art student, you are a doctor, medical student, or you are an engineer, right? Number 3, what is your major? Means what is your main subject? Science, arts, whatever it is. Then what are your hobbies? Means what do you like? Say for example, my hobby is listening music or swimming, or somebody says making friends. So many things. Number 5, what is your favorite subject? You are studying many subjects, maybe one of them is your favorite subject, right? Next one is, what is your favorite food? Somebody likes pizza, somebody likes burger, somebody likes biryani. So it's up to you. Whatever your favorite dish, you can tell. Number 7, are you married or single? It's a very common question. Are you married or single? Then number 8, what does your father do? Sometimes people add some sentences which are related to your family also, especially your father, brother, sister, like this. So what does your father do? You can say my father is a doctor, or my father is a teacher, or my father is retired, whatever you say. Number 9 is, who is your favorite actor? Who is your favorite actor? Means, for example, somebody says, my favorite actor is Shah Rukh Khan, Salman Khan, Tom Cruise, anybody. The last one is, who is your best friend? Very interesting question. Who is your best friend? So, today is over. Thank you very much. Goodbye.